Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this EnGenius ECW220S Wi-Fi access point. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reading it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description. So the model number is ECW220S and the S on there is for security. This has the EnGenius AirGuard system. So that's to help mitigate attacks with Bluetooth and IoT and things like that. So we'll take a look at that. So here's the access point. Comes with two mounting brackets. So you would mount this to a surface. You can mount it to T-track, and then this will slide in here and clip in, and you can slide that out. It also comes with some screws and anchors, and it also comes with keyhole slots here, so you can hang this on a surface vertically. So we have metal on the back here. This is plastic. It has 12 volts DC in with a barrel jack. It also has a power over Ethernet port and a reset button and a Kensington lock on there. So you can power this with the barrel jack and regular Ethernet. You can also use a PoE injector. This is the EPA 5006 GAT. So you put power in here. Let's see the labels here. LAN goes in this port. PoE comes out this port. So this adds power to the Ethernet cable. Now many people watching this video will absolutely know this, but there could be people that are new to this and are still learning. So that's why I mention these things. And here's your power cable. So if you're not up on power over Ethernet, what it allows you to do is run a single cable to a place where you install this and it runs your power and your data on one cable. So you don't have to have a separate power outlet. It's really the best way to install this kind of equipment. Now sometimes you have to use a barrel jack and regular Ethernet, but if you're starting a system from scratch, you certainly would run power over Ethernet. So this uses the EnGenius cloud services, so this can be managed in the cloud. It talks about connecting it up to the Cloud2Go app, and it has QR codes to some documentation on setting this up and some tips about mounting. It talks about, I called this T-Track, it's T-Rail is the technical name. Okay, so I'm in the EnGenius To Go app. You can download that from the App Store, and I have an account and everything on here. I'm not going to go over all of that, but it's pretty straightforward setting up an account. And there's a big plus sign on here, so I'm going to hit plus on there, and I'll hit register device. So that's going to bring up the camera, and it will see the QR code on the back of the access point. And now it says register. I'll hit register. It says name the device. I'll just name it ECW220S. I'll say assign to network site now. I'll choose network. I'll hit next. It says connect your device to the internet. So I have it plugged into power over Ethernet. I'll hit finish setup. It says congratulations, your setup is complete. Once you finish upgrading, your network will be ready to go. I'll hit finish. And now we see the access point here. So I can tap on the access point and see details, but I prefer to do this on the desktop, so I'm going to switch over to a computer now. Okay, so I'm logged into EnGenius Cloud now, and I'm on the dashboard, and we can see the access point here. So if you don't use the app, you can go down here to the little building in the bottom and go to inventory and license, and you can hit register device here, and you can enter in the serial number. So we can see the access point here, the ECW220S. Now this has all the special features on it. So to get the most out of this, you want to have an upgraded license, and this will come with a 1-year license. So if we go up here to access point where it says basic, we can click on this arrow and we can go to require AP Pro license. It says, do you want to change the AP feature to Pro? Your device should operate under valid Pro license, either 1-year free license or purchased Pro license before continuing. Devices with no free or Pro licenses will not be able to connect to EnGenius Cloud but still functional. I'll hit apply. It says update settings successful. Now if we go here to manage, we can go to AirGuard, and we can turn on the AirGuard features. So it says enable AirGuard, we'll tap that. It says scanning APs, so I only have one access point that's AirGuard enabled right now. And here we can set up rogue rules and whitelist rules. So this is for setting up rules to detect unauthorized access points. So if we go to add here, I'll say SSID equals, I'll say contains, keyword, Rick makes, and I'll hit OK. So now this will notify me if there are any access points that meet those conditions. And we also have whitelist rules if we want to whitelist certain access points, and then we can hit apply. So at the top here, we can see other things. We can see rogue SSIDs. So this will show rogue SSIDs if any exist. So we have other SSIDs. So this will show other SSIDs in the area. So the unique feature of this access point is that it has a scanning radio. So it has its normal Wi-Fi radio, but it has another radio that's always scanning and looking for wireless activity. So that doesn't affect the main radio, so it's not going to slow down your network connections. And we have evil twins. So this will look for access points that are trying to mimic your access points. We have malicious attacks and RF jamming. So if we go back to manage, we go to access points and select details on this access point. We can click on Diagnostic Tools. And now this will bring up a diagnostics tool page. So we can see network activities. Here we have CPU, memory, throughput, channel utilization. And here we can look at 5 gigahertz or 2.5 gigahertz. So this is going to show us Wi-Fi and non-Wi-Fi. So these are other things on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency. So I'm guessing you're going to see more of the non-Wi-Fi utilization on the 2.4 since that's more common. So that would include even things like microwaves. So if I click to the right here, we have internet connectivity. We can run a speed test. I'll run that. So my current internet service is 40 down, 20 up, but I tend to peak out more like 45. So it looks like we're getting close to that. So that looks to be what I was expecting. And then here we have ping. So you can add hosts here for ping. So if you want to test connectivity to a specific client, you can add that in here. So it also has a little timeline here so you can monitor it over time. So go to the right. And here we have trace route. So you can use this to look for slowdowns when contacting a host. And here we have all channel utilization. So I can hit scan here. So this says it could disrupt the Wi-Fi on this access point, but since this access point has its own scanning radio, it won't. So that's a really nice feature. So we can turn this on and people can still use the access point while we're using this feature. So this is a very nice chart here showing the different channels. We have the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz. So you can see channels 1, 6, and 11. And if we mouse over this, we can see utilization is 14% there. And you can see it on 20 or 40 megahertz channel widths. So that's on the 2.4 gigahertz. We can also go to 5 gigahertz. We'll hit scan there, continue. And we can see the same thing here. So this can be very useful for diagnosing network issues. So we're back to activity. Next are the advanced features, and this requires the Pro license. We have Spectrum. We can hit activate here, okay? And here we have a spectrum analyzer, and then below that we have a waterfall. So we can use this to visualize what's actually happening with the radio frequencies. And there's the waterfall there. So this is for 2.4 gigahertz. We also have it for 5 gigahertz. So let's switch over to that. So as you can see, this is much less busy. Let me do something on here. Let me run a speed test on one of my clients connected to the network. Okay, so there I go. I'm running a speed test on my phone. So now you can see that network activity. So that's a very useful diagnostics tool, and this is a very powerful tool just on its own. So next we have live clients, which is also part of the Pro license. And this is going to show in real time which clients are connected. So here I have my phone connected. I'll connect up my iPad. I just hit it to connect. And now it showed up in here. So it took a few seconds, but that was a very short amount of time. Now I'll disconnect my phone. And now it disconnected from the list. So I'll close this. So let's go back to the access point. We'll click on it. We'll hit details. And here we can see all these stats here. We can see the SSIDs, we can see the traffic on it, the radios, mesh, the IP address. Okay, so now I'm on my Mac and I'm going to create a rogue SSID. So I'm going to share my internet connection. I'm going to say share from Ethernet, share on Wi-Fi. I have Wi-Fi options here. And I've named the network Rick Makes Free. So I've already said if anything has Rick Makes in it, flag it. So I'll turn this on. I'll hit start. So that's creating the Rick Makes Free access point. So I have my iPad with the app on it, and I should get a notification here when it notices that access point. So here we have a notification that says rogue SSID detected. I'll tap on that. It'll take us into the EnGenius app. So if we go into EnGenius Cloud under AirGuard, we'll see Rogue SSIDs lists off this Rick Makes Free here. And it has different stats on it. It tells what channel it's on. We can add a note here if we want. We can also select this and move it to a whitelist if we think that's supposed to be allowed. So the last thing I want to talk about is zero Wait DFS. So go here to settings and I'll go to radio settings. And if we scroll down here, we can see zero Wait DFS. So this is supported on the ECW220S and the ECW230S. And what this does is it allows you to use dynamic frequency selection, and the scanning radio will automatically look for conflicts there, and it will switch frequencies without making you have to wait. So this allows you to use frequencies that can be used by radar and such. The radar takes priority, so the access point is required to switch channels if radar is in use. So zero Wait DFS makes this all seamless. Okay, so now I'm on my iPhone 13 mini, and I want to do a couple quick speed tests. I'm on the 2.4 gigahertz network, and there are a lot of access points on this, so I'll start the speed test here, and I don't expect super great performance here. Looks like we're getting around 80 megabits per second or so. This is download speed, and this speed test is on my local network, so it's not going over the internet itself, so it's more isolated. And here our upload, we're getting around 100 or so. It's jumping around. So the final on that was 78 download, 83 upload. So now I'll switch over to the 5 GHz network. So the 5 GHz network has an 80 MHz channel width. I'll start this test. And now you can see we're getting a lot faster speeds here. So here you can see we got around 600 download and around 586 upload. So that's the EnGenius ECW220S access point. So I went over a couple of features of this, mostly the features that are unique to the security aspects of this. This also has the features you'd find in the other EnGenius access points, like captive portal. You can do multiple SSIDs, guest SSIDs, radius support. But with this security model that supports AirGuard, you have the features like the zero Wait DFS, rogue SSID detection. There are a couple things I didn't talk about. This has Bluetooth detection. There's API support you can tie into this if you want to develop with this. Also detects the RF jamming. So an access point like this would be great for financial institutions, hospitals, place where you have to have just that extra security. I don't know that this would be as needed in something like just a coffee shop or something, but offices that deal with sensitive data, financial offices and such, I think this could be a great option. Since this is managed in the cloud, the controller is automatically updated and updates are already automatically applied to the access point too. So that makes management on this a breeze. You don't have to manually manage all that. It's all done automatically and it's done across multiple locations. So if you're an accounting firm that has multiple offices, you could deploy these in each of your offices. You can have central management of it and it's one less thing to worry about. Now if you have multiples of these and you have something like a rogue SSID and you have your map in your EnGenius cloud, you can actually see which access point it's coming from, which can help you locate that rogue SSID. So you can tell if someone left a laptop in the break room that's trying to do phishing attempts and things like that. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.